from part 1 of reading out in a little different way the introduction of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. How many pages? It introduction itself in 8 point single spaces, 9 to 46, that means almost 37 pages. Alright. So, page 1 introduction was shown. Okay. Now, it is page 2. Page 2 meaning page number 10. There also there is a figure. There is a black and beautiful, marvelous black and white picture on, I think, on every other side of the book. Of the pages of the book. Now, no, before that the fourth paragraph. The fourth paragraph is, okay, the whole thrust of evolution is to create increasingly complex systems which are capable of reflecting an ever greater degree of awareness. Oh, marvelous statement. So, he already said, in the last 3 paragraphs of introduction, where he has made the beginning for this thing. The whole thrust of evolution, the whole focus of evolution, the thrust, like in a rocket, the whole thrust of evolution is to create, evolution in the natural process, seemingly at least, is to create increasingly complex nervous systems. Okay? He is saying increasingly complex systems. So, we have to take the word nervous system from the previous paragraph, which are capable of reflecting an ever greater degree of awareness. Ever greater degree of depth and width, alright? Therefore, among all existences, human entities are the so-called top. To such a huge, immensely powerful central nervous system with a trillion-celled cerebral cortex or the brain and the spinal cord and the autonomic nervous system distribution all over the body. Now, I repeat that statement. The whole thrust of evolution is to create increasingly complex systems which are capable of reflecting an ever greater degree of awareness. In essence, science has realized that humans are more intelligent than animals because our neural organization is more evolved. As a result, we have more consciousness at our disposal. What sciences say. Next sentence, yoga goes further. What? Yoga says that the human nervous system is the crowning glory of creation because it alone has the ability to reflect the unbounded source of life in its immaculate and radiant purity. Man is made in the image of God. That's a concluding statement to that paragraph. Again, that Christian philosophy is being attached to this. Okay? Nothing wrong about that. That immaculate and radiant purity and all are needless adjectives which are not required, which will really block the mind. That's why mental block resolution is a major part of Jiva Yoga. Okay? Now, paragraph 4. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is over. Now paragraph 5. Okay? Page number 10. The desire to know the self is implanted deep within each of us. Is that true? Yeah, quite possibly. The desire to know the self is implanted deep within each one of us. If so, why the focus outward also? Okay? Because it is not possible, it is turned outward, is it so? The desire to know the self for self-discovery programs are very well known, okay? When I used to do it. It's deeply implanted within each of us. And there also our introduction writer has added, semicolon, a memory of Eden as old as the mind. Eden, that biblical comparison has been very creatively brought in. However, dimly perceived, the longing is the most refined expression of the dynamic urge to grow and progress, which energizes all life and motivates every aspiration. Okay, it's a big philosophical sentence. Let us not go deep into that. Okay. Only when we realize our true nature and the individual mind becomes infinite, shall we be satisfied. Oh, that means we will be satisfied only when the infiniteness of the so-called what is realized, infinite of the individual mind. Okay, a lot of problems there. And true nature. Okay. Alright, then only we shall be satisfied. I see. This enlightenment, oh, this is enlightenment. So they don't say this is enlightenment. What is enlightenment? Realizing our true nature and the individual mind becomes boundless. That is enlightenment. So this enlightenment is the first and last freedom. It is the state of effortless being. So he is coming in very properly into the concept of effortless being. Though he talked about what you call heaven and what you call Eden and all that, he has come to the point. Who? The introduction writer. What? Okay? That when the true nature is realized, then the individual mind is expanded to its potential infiniteness or boundlessness, shall we be satisfied? This enlightenment is the first and last freedom. It is the state of effortless being. So the very Patanjali Yoga Sutra itself has a tagline, the effortless being. Okay, where is it? It is here. Yeah, it is here. Effortless being. Yoga Sutra of Patanjali about effortless being. Okay. Yeah, our introduction writer has come to that point. That is paragraph number 5. Then there is a beautiful piece of poetry by our genius T.S. Eliot, who wrote the wonderful book, The Wasteland, which is a cherished memory of all English literature students who go beyond the normal syllabus. The Wasteland, T.S. Eliot. Though I was a psychology, statistics, physiology student, I too read the book of T.S. Eliot, The Wasteland. I wrote about it in one of my short stories also. Anyway, coming back to the point, what is that piece of poetry by T.S. Eliot? I read out. We shall not cease from exploration, comma, and the end of all our exploring, second line, third, will be to arrive where we started, and to know the place for the first time. Okay, beautiful. What is it? We have to give music to that. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. Just like that, okay? So that means the main point is we shall not cease from exploration. That is the critical point. What is to be explored, he is not telling. But that exploration itself implies that there is somewhere to reach. That's all. So by the rule, the third paragraph of today. Paragraph wise number 6. The quest for the self has enthralled mankind since the dawning of desire. I don't know what this genius has written. I don't think so. The quest for the self has enthralled mankind since the dawning of desire. Oh, enthralled. What is the meaning of that word? Actually, I should look into that once again. Ancient myths of every culture tell the same story of our search for wholeness, WHOLENESS, Yeah, he is referring to that literature, that domain where he belongs to. It's a plus 3 sigma domain. That's why he writes, the quest for the self was enthralled mankind. So that's what he could see. Ancient myths, how many people have read ancient myths of culture? No? Tell the same story of our search for wholeness, WHOLENS. Ask the mind explores its own depth. Ask the mind explores its own depth. That is the method, how to do that. One has to do that. You have to use the mind to discover the mind. So what a double. You have to use a reflector to reflect the reflector. So that's why it is the Zen Masters called it. The problem is one of opening the gateless gate. Ancient myths of every culture tell the same story, okay? As the mind explores its own depths, it uncovers archetypal images which sustain and guide the journey inwards. He is bringing in Carl Jung also. These are all unnecessary statements there actually, because some more editing is to be done. That statement should come somewhere else. Anyway, these are the signposts of the old road home, half remembered from long ago. So there is no idea for the reader what are the so-called archetypal images, which will guide the journey further to discover the self. Okay. So he is implying perhaps the value of the deities or the idols or the sculptures and the great work of art of symbolism. The book is plenty with that. Okay. It's wonderful, of course. Everything symbolizes everything else. So certain symbolisms will have the vastu, will have the design setting, which is conducive for the human attention can travel. All right. Okay, these are the signposts of the old road home, half remembered from long ago. Half remembered. That is our archetypal image. That's what Jung called the image, archetypal and collective unconscious and all that. Okay. Each society hands down its stories of the great heroes who have made the journey before us as reminders and examples to those who follow. Oh, beautiful sentence. Yeah, each society hands over. Society hands over, that's okay. But some so-called modern leaders also hand over. With some kind of a bias, I suppose. Anyway, in Mesopotamia, the king of Erech, Gilgamesh, king of Erech, E-R-E-C-H, named Gilgamesh or Gilgamesh or whatever, G-A-L-G-A-M-E-S-H, leaves the city and sets forth to find a plant for immortality or never grow old that sprouts at the bottom of the cosmic sea. Oh, cosmic sea, yeah, okay, some sea. Alright, okay, that's example he has given. That's also a wrong example, irrelevant there, okay? Only a king could endeavor to do that. In ancient Greece, the nobly born Odysseus seeks the island home of Ithaca. It is in a beautiful poetry also. While Jason set sail on the search for the golden fleece, and in the very different setting of Arthurian England, and knights of the Round Table ride out on that most sacred of missions, the quest for the Holy Grail, year. Okay, this is all meant to go. He must have been a good teacher, so he is writing a lot of examples which are not required anyway. Maybe that is what is introduction. Though the details of the myths differ with the time and place, their pattern is the same. Okay, yeah, of course. Our God is about one God. Okay? First comes the initial challenge, the call to a fuller life. So he is talking about the phases of such rudimentary projections of that search. First comes the initial challenge, the call to a fuller life, the promise of a new state of being. Is it there with people? Okay, that fullness is something total. There is some confusion here in this paragraph. What is not required anyway. So why should they be called to a fuller life? Everybody has that tendency, everybody has that origin, all that is what is told in the beginning. Right? Alright. For example, the very page 10 starts with the first sentence of paragraph 5. The desire to know the self is implanted deep within each of us. Okay. Then then the point here is the initial challenge is the call to a fuller life. You have to get a call. And if not, what is the point of being this, what you call, deeply implanted memory? Okay. The promise of a new state of being. Okay. If the hero has the courage to accept the challenge with all its awesome implications of metamorphosis, now he is bringing the concept of hero. What kind of a hero? Who has the terrible confidence and courage to face the awesome implications of metamorphosis. Oh wow, total change. The old entity is completely sort of deleted and a new entity is formed. Almost. Okay? Because the body is the energy of the mind and the consciousness. That's what the concept of Jiva Yoga. The body is the base of consciousness. Body processes. That's why yoga also is equally important. Alright. He embarks on the crossing of the initiatory threshold that marks the beginning of the journey, or literature. This death and rebirth will have to be repeated many times before the quest is accomplished. Oh, how do you know many times, okay? For there are trials and dangers to be encountered on the way, and every transformation suffered is a dying to the old and a resurrection to the new. These are all theories. I mean, say, needless statements here, actually. If the purpose of this introduction is to almost be an eligible work of being introduction to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, because Patanjali Yoga Sutra is so precise, it is given in verse, 2, 3, 4 sentences like that. So, he should have edited and separated it as a different set of paragraphs. Okay. The decisions to be taken are not easy, threatening people. Okay. Hyphen, the unwary are soon tranquilized by triviality. What a language! Tranquilized by triviality. The song of the sirens is alluring, and for every Galahad there are countless Lancelots, referring to some fictional characters in some fiction. Okay. Here he is telling a fact also, but too much camouflaged, too much misleading, too much irrelevant, too much confusing in a way for the kind of sutras. This is not the precise road to the gates of sutras. These are all little weeds, needless weeds. Okay. The unwary, that means the poor people, unsuspecting people are soon tranquilized by triviality. In this path to follow, when one is chosen or whatever it is, maybe implying some guidelines of the gurus or some other people, alright? They may get tranquilized by triviality, some trivial things. Things like, just reciting some mantras or reciting Bhagavad Gita, somebody would become great and all that. That kind of triviality only he is implying. Okay? Many people stop there only. They don't go beyond that. Of course, here's a fact. The song of the sirens is alluring, and for every Galahad there are countless that I don't know what are the characters here represent. Anyway, fortitude and perseverance is required, otherwise you will be tranquilized by triviality. That's what the third paragraph says. Anyway, the next paragraph is a small one, therefore I read it. But the deserving seekers, oh again problem, deserving seekers, okay, invited seekers, okay, who get a call, etc. That's a editorial evolution problem. See, the deserving seekers are sustained by unseen help. Oh wow, 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 wow. The possibility of another deity, the possibility of further meditation to get the cooperation of that unseen so-called force. Huh? What is it? What other meditations are to be done in order to get contact with that unseen force, okay, which will directly engage itself in sustaining the deserving seekers? Alright, these are all irrelevant, sir. Don't actually. Or in a way, these are the facts also. But a creative analytical reader like I, or what I am showing out, you have to just take this as the transcend the plans or the side of the path. Okay? Don't get demotivated. Unconsciously, unconsciously. The communication is unconscious, 90% unconscious only. That's why careful language, careful syntax is required in training in creative analytic thinking or creative analytic understanding. Okay? I repeat the 1, 2, 3, 4th little paragraph in page number 10. But the deserving seekers are sustained by unseen help. Oh, so we can go forward, there will be help. You don't have to bother to identify what help is, it's unseen. Those, where it is, those hidden agencies of fairy tale and legend, wow. Now that's beautiful. I am just reading it and I am not prepared and reading it. I don't need preparation to give interpretation to this. I just got an idea and I am doing it. So now only even I am reading it really creative analytically, a little bit. Creative analytic, it will take a little more time. See? Those hidden agencies of fairy tale and legend, you can actually use in fairy tales and legends to support your journey forward. For the dedicated, the pages are all very worn out. For the dedicated, there will in time come the final achievement, the apotheosis. What is that word meaning, apotheosis? Let me take the phone and ask. iPhone. Hey Siri, what is the meaning of apotheosis?
Apotheosis means highest point in the development of something, a culmination or climax.
Yeah, it's a noun. It refers to the highest point in the development of something, a culmination or climax. That is meaning number one. And the second meaning is, it is gone. Second meaning is the elevation of someone to divine status. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Alright. So, for the dedicated, there will in process time, come the final achievement, the apotheosis. Okay. Alright, the topmost. He did not use the word enlightenment anyway. That's good. Now the traveler can return transfigured, and transfigure, the body will change. That's why Rasana in Jiva Yoga, you need the 100% support theoretically of the body, the physiology, the varied systems and the process of the creature. Okay? What? Now the traveler can return transfigured to live as an example and inspiration to all those yet to complete the quest. Alright. I will finish page number 10. Those returned heroes of the great teachers, T capitals, the seers, the saints, the prophets, and the spiritual leaders of mankind. Oh, they have already gone there, got transfigured, and it had their apotheosis when coming back. Very good. Alright. They must have been, definitely. Otherwise, they cannot get to that confidence and presence of mind to be spiritual leaders and address thousands of people. Completing themselves and reintegrated with the cosmos of which they are now a conscious instrument. Oh, this is his definition of the so-called real spiritual leader. What? They are transfigured and what you call reintegrated with the cosmos or the nature process of which they are now a conscious instrument. Okay, they have reached the goal of yoga. Beautiful. So, by a second angle, the goal of yoga is to get transfigured and reintegrated with the nature process forces and feel that they are kind of an instrument of the nature process with the consciousness. That is Jiva Yoga also. We are a tool. This entity is nothing but a tool, 100% linkage with every process of the nature, with the elements, the air and the water and the matter and the space and the process durations. Okay? So we need to be in tune with that. That instrument is to be tuned like a guitar or a violin or a veena is to be tuned. Otherwise also there will be sound coming from every string. But it is to be integrated. All the 5 strings should be in tuning. So they are actually tuned for its frequency and vibration. Then the function, then the performance, then the completeness of the guitar is achieved. Alright? Then the guitar is transfigured and the violin is transfigured because the strings are in proper tightness. Okay? Alright? So, when you become that kind of a conscious instrument, that is yoga, and that is the real goal of yoga. And then once that stage is reached, if there is a state of mind and which can be told, reported, he is giving an example from Taittiriya Upanishad. Then the song rings out, then they sing. The seer will sing a song out to all creations. What? Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Wonderful. That is the wonder is the only one emotion that is legitimately linkage with that state of tuning or tuneless mind, without no duplicated tunes. Wonderful. So then I remember a few lines from the book of Richard Feynman, the celebrated nuclear physicist. It is given in his book named Are You Joking, Mr. Feynman? He has been enlightened, I am sure, no doubt. So he was writing, I wonder why I wonder. And I wonder that I wonder why I wonder. That is wonder. So wonder is a very good thing. Rather than bliss and all that, wonder is a very apt term there. I think we can stop with this part. Most of my videos are about 30 minutes or 1 hour and so on and so forth. They are all for my trainees at Jiva Yoga or Genius Service Institute, trainees for creative analytic thinking. So they will see that, and other creativity therapy sessions and things like that of my other activities. But this one, I envisage a little more audience, because I believe that this book itself is rare by Alistair MacLean. Maybe translations are there. But even Bhagavad Gita is being talked about a lot. Okay, so I think there must be hundreds of talks like this on Bhagavad Gita. Maybe on what you call Patanjali also, but which could be relatively low in number. So I chose the best. So So I have chosen the most wonderful treatise that I could locate in the all experience of my research for over 50 years. So, welcome to part 3, I suppose.